Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of The Conversation. Today we'll be talking about the 21st century woman and our challenges. And to discuss that with me today is a communications specialist, an activist, a pioneer, member of the Not Too Young to Run leadership team. She volunteers for several non-profits, including Yaga, and has done projects on advocacy for women. Maryam Laushi. Welcome, Maryam.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Thank you so much for coming. So, Maryam, what really is a 21st century woman?
I think a 21st century woman is someone who's living in modern times, but trying to do it in her own way. There are a lot of different things to balance, but also it's about, being progressive and learning to live in a world like ours right now.
Yeah, and I know it's really,
yes.
Our world is really something.
Yeah.
And I feel also 21st century women are bold. Mm-hmm. And I think they've come to the uniqueness of their selves. Mm-hmm. They are financially secure, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the challenges facing 21st century women. I know we have challenges of patriarchy.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely one of the challenges. I think first and foremost, we're living in a world where there are so many ideas because it is modern. Ideas and notions are spread around really easily from different people.
Because of the
social media. Just media in general makes everything much closer and all ideas more interactive, people more interactive today. So being able not to get lost in that, I think, is a skill that every 21st century woman needs to have. You need to know what you're about and not kind of just be lost in all the different ideas going on around the world right now. Definitely patriarchy, so it's one of the issues, and it varies. Its effects will vary depending on which part of the world you're in, but definitely we live in Nigeria, so our case is kind of special.
Special.
Yes, we see often through social media, and not just social media, through even our representatives in government, that they don't truly understand the importance of women in the world right now, in the modern and developing world.
Yeah, true. Okay, I read something online that got me, in a place, but I survived. I came out of it. So I want us to discuss that today.
Okay.
So I saw someone tweeted, you can never know a true color of a woman until she starts making more money than a man. She will even expect the man's entire family to be worshipping her. The word submission does not exist in the dictionary of a successful woman. Then he said the antidote of the above scenario is not ever allow your wife to be more successful than you. Support her, yes, but don't ever allow her to be richer than you. What do you think is going on here?
Well,
it's crazy. I'm like, because it's not just seeing a woman. She's a human being.
yes.
She's somebody, she's a person. You don't want to hinder someone else's progress just because you're not good with it, or because of your ego, or
it's insecurity, in my opinion. I think also the fact that we're in a 21st century world means marriages today are not going to be exactly the same as the ones our parents or grandparents had. We're living in a world where even in Nigeria, economically, it's not as buoyant as it used to be. So you kind of need two incomes to keep a home going now. Yes, basically. So you need a partnership. If you want to have a family that works in this world right now, you need to have a partnership. And I think many people are still lost in those old ideas, and that's why they say things like a woman shouldn't be more successful. There's a lot of people don't understand that in today's world as well, women are educated. Not everyone, but if you're talking about modern women, there's this understanding and realization of ourselves, especially as Nigerian women, that's beginning to grow. So people need to think about partnerships, to think about joint decision making and things like that. It's not about giving orders anymore, that kind of like really, it's not about that anymore. But at the same time, like we can still hold on to our religious values without it harming women, So that's what I think.
Okay, there's one other, social media has been amazing. So a newspaper tweeted, should married women buy property in husband's name or theirs? And someone replied and said, husband name, because she has no will of her own. I don't know why people think she doesn't have a will. Just because she's maybe she's not as strong, like physically strong as a man, doesn't mean, you know, in her mind or how like that willpower is lower than that of a man's. It doesn't even make sense to me because she bought it with her own money.
Yes.
So I can't even wrap my head around that, having to hand over, you know, like I think we spoke before we started this, how some men are demanding that their wife give them income, their salary every month.
Yeah, some people do that, like if your husband doesn't have a salary, so when you get yours, you give it to him. I'm a big advocate for the agency of women. By all means, if a woman makes her money and she feels she wants to give it to someone else, it's her decision, but I don't want it to be a pressured idea on every single woman. It's not supposed to be the norm that, you know, you don't have your existence outside of another human being. I think that people need to realize that women exist and live and thrive and breathe outside of a man, and also have an identity outside of a man. And so if a woman makes her money and she doesn't feel, oh, I want to hand it all over, people shouldn't look at her as if, oh, she's a bad wife or something like that. I'm an advocate for a joint account that you guys can take part of your income, and both contribute to, and then have something of yours on the side.
Exactly. And that's do whatever you want to do with your money.
Exactly.
That's good. Okay, there's another one. A challenge is lack of women in positions of power. Like in politics and corporate boardrooms, we have lesser women than men. We have more men, you know, and women are not given, sometimes they're not given the opportunity, you know, in positions of power. How do you think we can, you know, beat that?
Well, there are many ways and many barriers already to this. People are not always readily aware of the things that restrict women. I know a woman who yesterday I was talking to her, and she mentioned that she went to a meeting and she was the program manager. She went with her team, like everybody kind of lower in hierarchy in the organization. And she went there, and someone, like a lady actually, not even a man, came to serve tea, and she gave it to every man there except her. But she was the project manager, so she just felt
Even women
do that. Yes. So it's
really weird.
On many sides you find that these are tiny ways where these things happen, but it goes on different levels where you find that there are many barriers, even from family and to the workplace, and even your appearance sometimes as a woman influences your ability to get a position or not. So there are many barriers that we face, and then we have a lot of gatekeepers like men and religious institutions that make it seem as if a woman shouldn't have a voice, or a woman shouldn't have her own, at the back of things. Yes, but I want to ruffle those feathers. I want people to, see women in leadership positions. These are things that are important if we want our country to develop. Women have to participate, Thomas Sankara, who I always quote, says that women hold up the other half of the sky, and it is absolutely true.
Very, very true. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you for having me.
You all did. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Zimsworld Media, and also follow us on Instagram, Zimsworld Media. And also, you can follow my guest here, Mimi _software.
Yes.
And you can follow me as well as abonner14. Thank you so much for watching. Really see you next time. Thank you. Bye.